The first USS Revenge was a schooner in the Continental Navy. Revenge was built in the summer of 1776 by Colonel Jeduthan Baldwin at Fort Ticonderoga, New York. The schooner, commanded by a captain seaman, joined the flotilla commanded by General Benedict Arnold at Crown Point. She got underway at sunset on the 24th of August and headed north along the New York shore of Lake Champlain. 2 days later, when Connecticut lost a mast during a storm, Revenge towed the damaged gondola out of danger of grounding. In the weeks that followed, the ships maneuvered on the lake, enabling the Green crews, for the most part made up of landsmen, to learn the ways of the sea. Meanwhile, the British were building a fleet farther north, and were preparing to challenge Arnold for control of the lake. Naval supremacy would enable the King's troops assembled in Canada to drive down the strategic Lake Champlain-Hudson River corridor to New York. Success of this British strategy would cut the American colonies in two, beginning a dismemberment process by which the Redcoats could defeat the rebels in detail and restore royal authority in North America. The two forces met on the 11th of October in the Battle of Valker Island, fought in the strait between Valker Island and the lake's western shore where Arnold had stationed his ships. In the action, the outgunned Americans suffered a tactical defeat, but won a great strategic victory by delaying the British advance for a year in which the Americans strengthened their army enough to capture General Burgoyne's expeditionary force at Saratoga. After the Battle of Valker Island, Revenge and the other remaining American ships retired farther up the lake. Only Revenge, another schooner, 2 galleys, and a sloop reached the protection of Fort Ticonderoga. She remained on the upper lake until she was taken early in July 1777 when a British force under General Burgoyne captured Fort Ticonderoga. However, some sources indicate that the schooner may have been burned and sunk to prevent capture. Disposition. The August-September 1909 issue of the Vermonter magazine includes a photo of the remains of a ship with the caption, "The Revenge," one of the battleships of Benedict Arnold's fleet. This vessel, with 2 others, escaped to shelter of Fort Ticonderoga, after a running battle with a superior British force in 1776. In January 1909, it was recovered from the lake bottom and is now on exhibition near the lakeshore at Fort Ticonderoga. Included is also this short description, excerpted from a centenary tour of the lake by dignitaries aboard the steamboat Ticonderoga, which says, "Ashore in the shadow of T's high bluff, we come upon a curious relic, a water-beaten hull, some 50 feet long, ribs and planking quite intact, set on piers and surrounded by a fence. This is placarded as the schooner Revenge. One of Arnold's fleet escaped to shelter of the fort in 76, to be burned and sunk by Carl Brown the following year." That reference in the Vermonter presumably refers to the Col. John Brown, whose destruction of ships is mentioned in a plaque honoring him, erected in 1935 by the Massachusetts Society of the Colonial Dames of America and located in Fort Ticonderoga, which reads, "Col. John Brown of Pittsfield, Mass. Killed October 19, 1780 at Stone, Arabia, NY, on his 35th birthday. Was with Ethan Allen, May 10, 1775. Made a gallant attempt to retake the fort September 17 to 22, 1777 but failed owing to the sturdy defense of Brig. Gen. Henry W. Powell.